Good morning. I'm Stampin' Dee Dee, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and it's Stampin' Thursday. Every Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, we get together and do something different every Thursday, and today is Stepped Up Stamping. So I'm excited about that. It's the easiest one for me to do. So I enjoy it. I hope that you're going to enjoy it too. You'll just watch and I'll show you the first two steps, the basic or beginner card, and then the casual card that stepped up a little bit, and then I'm going to demonstrate creating the avid card. So I hope you enjoy this. Next, let's see, this is the 4th Thursday, so next Thursday morning, I will introduce to you the November Stamp Club, the monthly Stamp Club. So I show the set that I'll be featuring. I show samples used from that set. So and it's a to-go set. It's a to-go class, so you can do it from anywhere in the United States. So that's next Thursday. So I will look forward to seeing you then. And I think we're ready now for stepped up stamping. So I'm going to put the camera on the stand, which is always a little bit noisy, but I'm going to do that, and then we're going to get started. All right, here we go. Let me refresh my computer screen so that I can see what you see. I want to make sure that, yeah, good. Looks like we're a little bit crooked, maybe. Did I make it worse or better? See, I don't like crooked, and I do everything crooked. I don't understand that, but all right. So here we go. If you're watching this live, give me a shout out. Say hi. Tell me where you're from. Just let me know that you're there. And if you're watching the replay, I appreciate that so much. And I hope you'll comment and let me know that you're on the replay. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. And I hope if you enjoy it, you'll subscribe to my channel, ring that bell so that you'll be notified when there's a video posted. And if you think there's somebody you know that would enjoy seeing it, would you please just share it with them? Every comment, every subscriber, every share makes a difference in the visibility of the YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. All right, here is our basic card. It is card base is Calypso Coral, and the front, of course, is basic white. And this just uses stamps. So this is the Hello or the Irresistible Blooms stamp set, and it's one it's just one of my favorites. It's got great blooms, it's got great leaves, it's got a splatter stamp, which I always enjoy, and then the sentiments are really nice too. The really cool part of this set, the bundle, is, let me get this down, are the dies. It's just got some really interesting dies besides the ones that cut out the blooms, and I'm going to use one of them today. This cuts out the big bloom. So it's a really neat set. It's in your annual catalog. If you do not have it yet, then you will want to get it. I think it's in your annual, or maybe it's one of the online. I should know that, but it's been so long since I ordered it. No, it's an online exclusive. So this stamp set can only be purchased through Stampin' Up's online store. And And if you do not have a demonstrator, somebody that you purchase from, I would love to help you out. And just go to my you can order from me at deannablackman.stampinup.net. And if you have any questions, let me know. But this is an online exclusive, so be sure and get it before it goes away. All right. So all I did on this one was stamped the bloom in Calypso Coral. I stamped the leaves in Granny Apple Green. And I stamped the thank you in the black memento. That's all. And even that all by itself is a beautiful card to send to somebody. You know, when you're when you're a new stamper, you don't have a lot of supplies. So with this one, all you need is the one stamp set and a couple of colors of cardstock. That's all you need. And as you progress, as you stamp more and as you become more confident, then you're going to add to your supplies, you know, a little at a time. And so in doing that, then we stepped up the next card just a little bit. Now we just used the same stamp set. I just stamped more blooms, the large one in the middle and then the two smaller ones. And I stamped more leaves to fill the page up a little bit. And I just still stamped the thank you. But I did kind of switch my card base. I backed or matted my card front in the Calypso Coral. And then I used Petal Pink for my card base. I used Petal Pink. So just to add a little bit of contrast. And I've added a few Stampin' Blend markers to my collection. So, or you could use your Stampin' Write markers. I added a little bit of yellow to the center of each one, just with my blend. I added that, and then I went over it with Wink of Stella. And that ought to be one of the first things that you add to your collection is Wink of Stella, because it just adds a little bit of sparkle, and who doesn't love sparkle? And then I came along and I added 3 rhinestone gems. I'd purchased a pack of rhinestone gems, and I thought, you know what? I want to use them on this card. So I added 3 rhinestone gems, and that was it. Not any more than that, but look how beautiful it is. It's a beautiful card. This is the casual card. Didn't add a lot of extra supplies to it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create the Avid card. We're going to really step it up and add some things to it. We're still going to use the same stamp set. So I'm going to, in the same card base, excuse me. So I'm going to take my card base, fold it on the score. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to get my bone folder. I'm going to move these a little bit. Get my bone folder and go ahead and give this a good burnish. All right, and then I've got my mat, my Calypso Coral mat, and I have my basic white card front, and I wanted just a tiny bit of matte. So the card front is, let's see, the mat is 4 by 5 1/4, and so the card front is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I just made it 1/8 of an inch smaller than the mat. All right, so let's get our stamping done first. I want to make sure you can see all of this. All right, I'm going to get my stamps. I've already mounted them. My ink is Calypso Coral and Granny Apple Green. So let's get the Calypso Coral. Take my large bloom, ink it up, and I'm going to put it right here in the corner. Make sure I've got plenty of ink on it. And it's going to go right here, right in the corner. There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? I'm going to go ahead and clean it so I don't forget and touch it. Now I'm going to get the smaller bloom. This is the smaller one. And I'm going to do the two blooms. And I want the flat side facing that bloom. So I'm going to nudge it up there real close to it, if not right on it. All right. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Nudge it up there close to it. Maybe on it a little bit. That's not going to hurt anything. There we go. Let me clean this one. Set it aside. Now I'll get I'm going to use my smaller leaf. There's one with 3 leaves, and then this one is with 2. I think I'm gonna, for right now, I'm gonna use the 2-leaf one. Put the Calypso Coral away, get my Granny Apple Green out. I'm gonna raise this just a little bit. Well, I say I am. Well, I don't think I am. I don't think I can turn it. There. All right, let me raise it. Just a little bit. There we go. All right, so you can see a little bit more. All right, here we go. And I'm going to stamp this off. I re-inked my Granny Apple Green, and so you see it's really, really inky. So I'll stamp it off down here. Stamp it off, and then I'm going to come right here and stamp it right there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, only I'll be able to stamp it on. So I'm going to stamp it right there. Stamp it off. Stamp it down here. I'm just kind of filling in these empty spaces with leaves. And right here. I'll come in right here and put a leaf. I think I'll come up just a little bit further. There we go. Now I'm going to fill in the center just a little bit. So I see there, I got ink on my edge. So I'm going to get the ink off my edge, and I'm going to stamp over where that, I'm just going to wipe the ink off my edge. And I'm going to tap it real lightly. And fill in right there where I got a mark. You'll never see it. There we go. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't stamp off, did I? It's okay. So we'll do that one there. And I think I'll do a couple right up here. Maybe right there. Maybe just that one. What do we think? Does it have enough? Maybe here, and maybe in the background right here. See, I'm just using the ink that's on there now. I think that's good. You know, I've got a white space right here that looks a little bit out of place. So I'm going to stamp that there better. And right here. There we go. Now we've got those white spaces covered. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to raise this center flower. I want it lifted up. So I have stamped it onto a piece of white, and I'm going to take the die and I'm going to run it through my cut and emboss machine so that I have a cutout image. Let me do that real quick. Hold on. I'm trying to get it positioned just right. Okay, run it through. All right. So now I have my image cut, and I'm going to pop it up right here. I think that'll really look nice. Now remember, this is the Avid card. We've accumulated more supplies than we probably need. So I now have my cut and emboss. I gave in and bought the cut and emboss, and oh my, do I love that. I've also increased my Stampin' Blend collection. And I've added some embossing folders to my inventory. So I think what I'm going to do is use one of my embossing folders. Let's see. I know I've got one that is a brick. Let me see if I can, there it is. It's exposed brick. So before I do that, I'm going to color the center of my flowers. So let me just, I've got my, this is Daffodil Delight Stamping Blend, and I'm just going to color the center of my flowers. And then I'm going to run the whole thing through the embossing folder. I think that'll really change the look of it. All right. Got those. And I'm going to add that Wink of Stella. Give it a little bit of sparkle. So I'm just going to go over the where I added the Daffodil Delight. Go over that. And that also blends that Daffodil Delight a little bit. All right. Now, you probably cannot see the sparkle, but I can see the sparkle. So in real life, you can see the sparkle. All right. All right, I think now we're ready to run this through with the embossing folder. So let me do that. I'm going to place it. I'm trying to, okay. I think right there. I need to move it up just a little bit so that it'll be, there we go. I'm going to run this through real quick. And let's see what it looks like. Oh, looky there. Look at that. Oh, I hope you can see it. It's just got all this wonderful distressing, and of course the brick. It gives it such a great look. All right, I think we can put it on the mat now. So I'm going to get my Stampin' Seal. All right. Put this on the mat. The Wink of Stella dries really fast, so you don't have to worry about it. Got a little bit of glue on there. All right, now I've got to position it on here because it's just the tiniest little border. All right, there it is. Got that, and then we're going to go ahead and put it on our card base. And since I'm raising the flower, and I'm going to raise the sentiment too, I think, I won't raise this, but you could. If you didn't raise anything on the front, you could put dimensionals under this and raise it up, but I don't need to do that. Okay, I didn't get much in the middle, did it? There. Now we're ready to put this on. This is going to have more of a border. There we go. Get that on, just that by itself. Isn't that pretty? That embossing folder, look at the difference it made. Can you see it? The difference that it made. All right. And so now I'm going to take this flower, and it will not be embossed. So it's going to also have a little bit different look than the rest of the card, which I wanted this flower to really stand out. So I think it's going to. I'm using dimensionals, and I'll put this on. So it's going to go right here. And I also need to come along and do the center of this one. And I really didn't need to do that middle one, did I? Didn't think about that. Put some Wink of Stella on there. Give it some sparkle. All right, now for the sentiment. I think what I want to do, I've still got a scrap piece here. I think I'm going to stamp my sentiment, which is, where's my sentiment? What did I do with it? I don't see it on the floor. Did I put it over here? Oh dear. Hope I didn't knock it off somewhere. There it is, right there in front of me. Oh, here's my sentiment. I'm going to stamp it on the white using the memento. I actually had thought about using the Calypso Coral, but I don't think it would show up. So there we go. Stamp it on here. And then I'm going to emboss it and cut it out. There we go. So let's see. I'm going to do this. I think I'll go ahead and emboss it first. And then I'll trim it. So I'm going to put it right here on my card. And that's where there was a little bit of a white space. So it's not going to match perfectly, but it's going to be all right. Whoops. It's going to be right in that white space area right up here. There. Let me get it there, straight. All right, now I'm going to run it through real quick. I could have trimmed it first. I didn't, for whatever reason. All right, so there we have the embossed sentiment, and now I'm just going to trim around it. You know, and there's so many different ways you can trim this out. I just kind of follow the lines of the sentiment, and I don't worry about all the ins and outs. I just do a general trim. There we go. And I'm just going to put it right up here. I'm going to put it in right there. Oh, I think that looks good. All right, I'm going to use dimensionals. So you see how we're stepping this up. All along the way, we're stepping it up a little bit. All right, put my dimensionals right there. And I'm going to maybe move this down just a little bit. I think I'm going to move it right back up here. There we go. Let me look at it. Put it up there. All right. I like that. I like that. I like it. All right. I did want to add ribbon. So I think I'm going to use, I wanted to bring out or tie the black sentiment into the card. And I think the black and white gingham ribbon will do it. So let me, and I just want a small bow. I don't want a big bow. So let me bring this in, make it smaller, bring it in, maybe even a little bit smaller than that. It's getting tight. I want it tight. Let's see how this does. Maybe bring that in just a little bit. All right, I think that is about the size bow that I want. What do you think? All right. Yep. I just want it to kind of go right along the edge of the sentiment. But I don't want it to cover the sentiment up. All right. Yeah, I think that'll work. I have got my glue dots. And I'm going to put a glue dot right there on the back of that. And put it right here. I want my bow down a little bit because I don't want it to cover up my sentiment. There we go. Looks like this one could be a little bit smaller. Just a tiny, tiny fraction. There. That works. Now, I think too, instead of, I knew that I needed to make that a little smaller. Instead of the rhinestones, I think I want to still focus on the black. Maybe, so I've got some little black, these are, what are they? Classic matte dots. classic matte dots, and I have a few black left. So let me get take a pick tool. That seems to work better for me. Get the dot off of this, and I think I'll put it right here. And I'm going to do 3. We should do our embellishments in odd numbers, 1, 3, or 5. So I think I'll do that one right there. One more. I'm looking at it. I think right there. All right. I think that's good. I don't think we need anything else. We've added a little extra color with the yellow. We've added the embossing. We've cut out the sentiment instead of doing it flat on the card. Let me get these down a little closer. We've added the ribbon, popped this up. I think we've stepped it up. I'm real happy with that. You know what? We need an inside. And I'm not going to do much on the inside, but I will take the small flower. And I would do an inside for these too. I just, I hadn't done that. So I'm going to take the small flower, ink it up, put a flower right here on the edge. Let me clean this stamp again. I'm going to get the smaller leaf, the 2-leaf stamp. You notice on the basic card, I did use the 3-leaf stamp because I was wanting to take up a little more room on that one. I'll get my Granny Apple Green. My 2-leaf stamp. I'm going to stamp it off because I know it's really inky. Add a stamp right there. Stamp it off. Add another stamp right here. And we're done. Let me clean this. Close my ink. Now we'll do this on the inside. Get my Stampin' Seal. Put it on the inside. And we are good to go. You could also stamp a flower on your envelope. You could use the Irresistible Blooms Designer Series paper. Let me show you some of that. I have it. There it is. So this is the, what is it? Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper. It's also available online. So you could take some of this and match the color and do the envelope flap if you wanted to do that. Or you could just stamp a flower on the front or on the flap. All right, so there we go. We've got our basic card. We've got our casual card where we've stepped it up just a little bit. And then we've got our avid card. So, excuse excuse me. Oh, my husband is on here. Thank you, Clint. Thank you. Yes, the embossing really does make a difference. Oops, I thought I'd gotten some ink on there, but that's just a little piece of the ribbon. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I have encouraged you to take your stamping, take your card making just a little bit further. If you're a beginner card maker, maybe just add a little more to the front and maybe add another layer of matting. A couple of jewels would do it. If you're a casual card maker and you're looking for ways to bump it up, step it up, then pull out an embossing folder and use that. And, raise a portion of it up and add some ribbon. Lots of ways that you can do that to step your card up and just give it a little more interest. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a faithful person who watches the videos, whether you're doing it live or if you're doing it the replay on the Facebook page, or if you're doing it on YouTube. Thank you so much for doing that, and I appreciate any comments that you might make, or sharing it, or becoming a subscriber. And I hope I've encouraged you to step your stamping up just a little bit. I know people love getting your cards. Thank you. God bless.